Hello and welcome to Quest Me, the podcast that takes you on a quest through legends and new canon of Star Wars, of course. My name is Josh, and I'm your forever host and friend. We are finally back from our little break and ready to get this show back on the road. We finished up with Mandalorian Season 3 about a month and a half ago and decided to take a little bit of a pod break, so we did that, and now we're back. Today, we're going to be breaking down Season 2 of Star Wars Visions and also going on a little detour to a magical land known as Hyrule. But before we do all that, I must go through all the opening ads and boring stuff. So, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok just by searching Quest Me Podcast. We are on YouTube live right now, tonight. If you're here, great. But if you're listening in podcast land, make sure to go to youtube.com/@questme, like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified whenever we are live. So, before we go any farther, of course, I have to introduce my lovely co-hosts. Up first, you know him as the Meminator, our Insta Queen and real-life hero. His name is Justin. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you, man?
I am doing great. I'm going to turn you up a little bit, just a little bit.
You're doing great.
Yes, I'm doing
There you
fantastic. I'm so excited to be podcasting again.
I know. We've had a good amount of time off, and I'm excited to kick it with you guys again. Talk about some visions and a little bit of extra content. Hyrule.
Yeah. We're doing some little spin-off things for the next couple episodes. We'll talk about that a little later. But before we get into visions and our little extra content, of course, we have to introduce our resident librarian and slanger of Ren Fair costumes. They go by the name of Phil. How are you doing today? Oh.
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Phil just, for those listening, Phil just put up his Nintendo Switch as if to say, don't bother me, I'm playing Zelda.
Don't bother me, I'm skydiving.
That's awesome. Definitely, the reason we have to talk about Zelda later on in this is because it has consumed all three of our lives.
Has it, man?
Probably to an unhealthy degree.
My backdrop is finally relevant again.
That's true.
I wouldn't say it's unhealthy. I've managed to pay my bills and go to work, and that's about it.
All right. Are you playing at work, though?
Oh, God, yeah.
See, that's where it becomes unhealthy. And I feel like our ladies would probably say the same thing. You know, so this game came out right before Mother's Day, and my girlfriend was like, I want to write Nintendo a letter and explain to them how frustrated I am that they decided to release the game of the year 2 days before Mother's Day.
Yeah, but it also came out like the day before my birthday, so
yeah,
that was just a delightful little present to me.
I'd say that's a wonderful birthday present.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to argue with that.
Yeah. But before we get too far into like Zelda talk, because there's going to be a lot of it tonight, I am sure. I'm trying to divide this episode up evenly from Visions and Zelda because obviously we're a Star Wars podcast and we talk a lot about Star Wars, and so we have to break down the new season of Visions.
But our lives have been consumed with Zelda.
And that's why we brought it in, you know?
I'm excited to do this. It was a nice little curveball.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, everything about Zelda is quest me. I mean, it's just you're on a quest the whole time.
Yeah, he takes a lot of quests.
Many little quests.
Side quest me.
So many side quests. Yes. So let's get into some of the main content. Of course, part of that main content belongs to Phil and his new segment. And of course, I'm talking about a bar far away. Phil, tell us, what are we drinking tonight?
Well, tonight, since we didn't have anything throughout Visions that specifically hit any kind of keynotes that I wanted to follow up on, I did something I have been planning to do since we first started talking about the whole, Star Wars cocktail segment. And I made a blue milk white Russian.
Ooh.
So this is a couple ounces of vodka, an ounce of blue curacao, an ounce of Kahlua, and a couple ounces of half and half.
All right.
And
And it turns
yeah,
it blue? Is that
blue
blue?
enough.
I can't tell. The light.
Is it
the
blue
lighting is a little
curacao?
lovely. It
Oh, that's totally blue. I love it.
Can you make it a white Russian and just add food coloring?
You could, but the
That's more fancy right there.
well,
The
so
milk-
the fun thing with the blue curacao is that it makes it taste kind of like a chocolate orange.
Ooh.
Yeah, I did a little bit of orange zest on top of it too, to just kind of garnish it and give it a little extra.
Huh.
So, but yeah, I'm
Nice.
tentatively calling it a blue bothan.
All right.
But
I mean, blue milk is good too.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure Star Wars and Disney has some sort of trademark on blue milk. So
exactly.
No, they only got green milk. Blue milk is open.
all right, fair. That's fair.
But yeah, so
I like
blue bothan. I went ahead and threw the recipe into the show notes for you there.
Sweet, and that'll, as always, be in the show notes of the episode. So if you would like to get a blue bothan and drink along as you listen to the show, by all means. I mean, unless you're at work or like driving or something, please don't drink and drive and
Yeah,
be responsible.
always drink
All right.
responsibly. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm tonight drinking the Finnish long drink.
Ooh,
It's a fancy little
Is that
beer.
how you try to be? Finish
Long?
in a long?
Zing!
zoom.
Yes. I also have one shot of Kraken. Oh, wait. No, I took that. Never mind. I had
Had.
one shot of Kraken rum. So that's what we're drinking tonight. And I am excited to get this show on the road. First of all, Visions.
Visions is
It's
amazing, beautiful, like Star Wars ethos driven. I love it.
I want to give you. Normally, I write out like some sort of, whatever for
Thing.
these. But Wikipedia had a really good description of Visions, so I feel like I should just read that. Star Wars Visions is an animated anthology series created for the American streaming service Disney+. The series consists of original animated short films set in or inspired by the Star Wars universe, with each episode being a self-contained narrative produced by a non-American studio. The first volume of 9 anime short films were produced by 7 Japanese animation studios: Kamikaze Duga, Studio Colorido, Geno Studio, Trigger, Kinema Citrus, Production IG, and Science Saru, with Trigger and Science Saru producing 2 shorts each. The second volume expanded the series to animation studios around the world. So again, the first season was all about like Japanese anime, and then the second season is all about like all anime. So there's so
just
many
international
different-
animation studios in general.
Yeah,
Well,
there's
you
so
can
many
definitely
different
tell
cartoon
the
quizzes.
difference between episodes and what region they're
Right.
trying to appease to.
Right. And so you have El Guiri from Spain, Cartoon Saloon from Ireland, Punk Robot from Chile, Aardman from the United Kingdom, Studio Mir from South Korea, Studio La Cachette from France. I don't know how to pronounce these things, so I'm
La
probably doing
Cachette.
awful, and Phil is probably cringing so hard over there.
La Cochette.
88 pictures from
the
India.
the beauty of this, dear audio listeners, is that you are missing the magnificent Lemmy mustache that Josh has going right now.
Trying to
Hearing
pronounce these.
Hearing him trying to pronounce these, international studios is
Priceless. You're
It's the
welcome.
funniest thing I've seen this week.
So it completed 88 pictures from India. They art Stagio from Japan. And then, of course, you had Lucasfilm from the United States. And then Triggerfish from South Africa/Ireland. The creators at each studio are given free reign to re-envision the ideas of Star Wars as they see fit, while receiving guidance from Lucasfilm's executive team. So the first question I wanted to ask you guys about Visions was, did you like season 1 or season 2 more? Let's start with Justin.
Oh, that's so hard to answer, but I would go season 2 more. Season 1 had like the beginning episode of Ronan was amazing. I read the book and like I followed the spinoff. Like it's a great. I have the comic for goodness sakes, but there was so many ups and then way too many downs of the first season. Comparatively, the season 2 right now, everything's on a high note right so far. I like pretty much every episode.
Well, I mean, a high note. Phil, and let's have Phil answer the question first.
I think we definitely got a lot more optimism out of the universe in season 2 than we did in season 1. A lot of the episodes in season 1 felt like kind of downer endings. They were very there were a lot of pretty stark Sith victories, or near victories at least, throughout the first season. And
I guess
season 2 felt a lot more overall kind of optimistic, especially for just kind of the everyday citizen of the galaxy, not just the Jedi and the Sith.
All right. I could agree with all of that. I will say that season 2 pulled on a lot of heartstrings and like emotions that season 1 did not. I feel like season 1 was, I mean, obviously each studio is different and they all did different stories and they were all really good in their own right, except for the music one. I swear, Roy loves that episode, and it's my least favorite episode ever.
That episode is horrible.
Yeah, and that's one reason why I would say Vision season 2 is better, is because they didn't have one episode that I didn't like. There wasn't an episode that I cringed at. You know what I mean? Even if there was like a couple cringy moments, by the end of it, you're like, oh my god, I love these characters. I want to see more. One of the questions I have for you guys is, which episode would we want to be continued on as like a full story? And to me, I think a lot of these episodes could hold really good like weight with their stuff. Especially episode 2 with like that horror episode.
We got a ghost story.
Yeah,
we got like
whole,
a proper
screaming
Star Wars ghost story. That was fun.
In reality, it really wasn't ghost story. It was more of a here's lore that's turned into a ghost story that's based on reality.
Yeah,
right. And then the end of that, I don't know what it was, but like that was one that I shed more than one tear, and it was like when, you know, the lady came down and she's like, this is your test. This is now I'm going to take you to train. And all of that girl's friends are like, what? Where are you going? I was like, oh my God. But
she's leaving you guys.
Episodes. Right. But there were so many episodes like that where someone was taken by a Jedi to go be trained, you know? Mm-hmm. The one that was very like Middle Eastern, where they were on the train. I can't remember. Episode 7, I think.
The Bandits of Gulag.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
It was
episode
beautiful.
7. Yes, wonderful episode. But it ends with the little sister going off with a Jedi. You know, there's the one that was like the kind of Wallace and Gromit style.
Yeah, it was.
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, no, that's Studio Aardman. That is Wallace and Gromit
Is it?
animators.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Same kind of thing. I think if I'm thinking of the right studio, it was the last episode of season 2, where the bear girl
That was Triggerfish
Ayu's song.
that did Ao's song.
Okay.
Yeah,
Another
I
one
just
where
rewatched that one.
and it's great. And at the end, she
Goes
off
off
with
with
the
the Jedi. Yeah, okay, I get you. I get you.
This season's
So,
all about departure.
Yeah, Justin, what
It
happened
does
to your
kind of feel
microphone?
like it.
My what?
You're so quiet.
I'm talking.
But yeah, no,
see
I
that.
I think Justin, you've nailed it though. I think that it is all about departure.
Right. And growing up and finding your path.
Yeah.
You know, because all these kids that get taken they're like they're young and they're just finding out that they have these powers, and then all of a sudden they're being ripped away from their families and going off to train. You know, there's a lot of emotions throughout this entire season that I did not get as much in season 1. Season 1 had a ton of action and a lot of fun, except for that stupid music episode.
Not a
but-
fan of the band?
I was not a fan of the band
God,
at all.
that movie or that one was so bad.
Yeah, not good. And I don't care what Roy says. Hopefully he pops in here eventually, and I can just.
Are you ready, Mos Eisley, to rock?
Oh yeah, it was awful. It was so bad. I don't understand what happened to your microphone.
I don't know either. Do-a-dee-dee-dee-dum-dee-dee-doo.
It might be. Jiggle the cable around a little bit. That cable might be a little messed up.
Jiggle, jiggle.
Maybe not.
Jiggle.
Oh, see, there it is.
Uh,
Ah, much better. Yeah.
sounds good
So-
now. Okay.
Yes, it sounds great.
Better than it was.
Yes.
So, why don't we talk about each episode animation style?
Yeah, that's kind of next on the list. The first one, I think the Sith episode, season 2, episode 1, was probably my favorite. If I'm going to be honest with you, the way that they used color to tell the story, and it was like a painting the whole way through, was incredible.
I agreed. Like I just saw it was a very literal juxtaposition throughout the episode, and it was just beautiful animation. It was like fluorescent / iridescent, and it would move and articulate to the light. But the imagery within the entire episode was the coolest thing. I like hands down the painting aspect of it, by far beautiful. My favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we all agreeing that the first episode was the best animation style?
I would counter.
Okay.
I would counter. I think episode 5, Journey to the Dark Head.
Okay.
The Vision Stones.
Yeah. I think the lightsaber battle in that one, not just in terms of the animation, but the music and everything that kicked in like as the lightsaber battle started in that one was spectacular.
See, I thought that one looked like more like a stylistic version of Full Metal Alchemy. Are you guys familiar?
I could see that.
It had a little bit different edging to it or lines, and they were sort of wavy.
They had done the studio founder had done some work on Last Airbender. Worked for Avatar as an animation director.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so there's some notes of some of the combat sequences from Avatar: The Last Airbender in there, and that you can see it. Like,
yeah,
you can see some of that same fluid combat really shows through there.
My note is wonderful choreography ? Because I didn't know if it's choreography for.
It is. It absolutely is. I mean, because fight sequences still have to be choreographed to actually do what you want them to do. You know,
Yeah.
there's still you got to figure out which people
Yeah,
are
that's
where at
right.
what
Okay.
time.
I'm sorry. I had to go back and kind of skim through the episode really quick because I
Yeah.
was forgetting what was happening. But yes, this one was cool because it had some really good, like lessons, I guess you could say,
Hmm.
because the colors of the heads switched. And
Yeah.
it didn't matter what side they were taking out; they were still taking out part of the same, thing. or
Yeah.
Yin
whatever.
or yang.
Yeah, you're seeing how much the light and dark sides are intertwined, and
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
You can't
No.
you can't mess with the balance, man.
I rewatched that one today too.
Yep. That was my notes for that one was most anime episodes so far.
Yeah.
Great morals, especially in the Star Wars universe. No matter what, there will always be a war. Which in Star Wars, that's pretty true. I feel
mean,
like.
Yep.
it's right in the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Star Wars.
You're right.
There.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, I actually I think Journey to the Dark Head might have been my favorite out of this season.
Yeah.
But then of course that was followed up with the Spy Dancer, and
Oh,
I-
that was
the
cool, but
I
that's
didn't
another
like
one that,
Spy
like,
Dancer.
it was
That's another one that just like rips your heart out, man.
yeah. No, that one, the ending of that one was a gut punch, but that was
Dude. And it's like the studios in this season really knew. I think Lucasfilm was heavily like, you guys need to make our fans cry. A little
well,
bit.
and they had I think they
Right.
had a better idea of what they wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
Like I loved season 1 of Visions, but
Mhm.
I also feel like it was an experiment. It was hey, let's see if we can make this work.
Right.
And yeah, they could. They did in fact make it work, but it was I feel like it was almost a surprise that it was as successful as it was. That it,
I could see
some of that success caught them off guard a little bit.
It was kind of like Marvel's What If.
Yeah,
Because What If was really good and people really liked it, and so they ordered a season 2 for it. So I think
Yeah.
Visions was kind of along the same lines. What was the? I'm wondering also what, the first episode they had, or sorry, the first season they pulled. What was it from the Duel where they made a story about the Ronin? Was that
Yeah.
the first one. Okay.
So my favorite.
Yep, and your cable's loose again. God, I have to get you a new mic cable. Sorry. But yeah, so there we go. Yeah. So my question is, they did continue a story from season 1. What story of season 2 would you guys really like to see continued? Justin.
Oh, my gut instinct says Screecher's Reach episode 2.
Ooh, okay.
I just initially I thought the story was boring, but it was one of the 9 that left it open to further interpretation. Her going off with the Sith, at least I thought what she was, but it was cool. The episode overall was very monotonous. Like you work to live, live to work, and then eventually it moved into that witch story that you guys said, and then at the end when the conclusion wraps up, the entire time when I saw the Sith alien, I was thinking, oh wow, she looks like someone from Adventure Time, but I can't think of who.
Oh my god. That's
Because
funny.
she was like, oh, so sweet and innocent looking, but like
White and red. And I was just like, oh well, looks like you're gonna be stolen by someone scary. And she snapped at him, and then yeah, I knew it. So that would be a very interesting story to see continue to me.
I agree. Phil, what about you? What would be your story to be continued?
I would love to see. I going back to the Spy Dancer. I would love to see that Imperial officer kind of working out a lot of his background, trying to figure out who he actually is and how he ended up where he is.
And then eventually seeing
And then
his mom
eventually,
again.
reunite with his mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I thought that was beautiful.
I agree with that. I don't agree. The one that I would want is the final episode.
Okay.
Ao's story.
How's story? How's song?
Dude, because she can change red kyber crystals to, like, she can purify them, right? So if she's in the middle of a battle with some Sith Lord and just goes, no, and, like, turns off their lightsaber, basically, would that affect a battle? And also, I would love to see her, like, special power, because every Jedi has, like, a special power. I would like to see what hers actually could do, you know? Also, the Jedi that takes her is very intriguing to me. I really liked, I don't know, the way that she looked, you know? And maybe it's just the animation of it, the button eyes and the really cute looking little bears and stuff, but I would like to see her story for sure.
And so much of that made me think of Studio Leica doing like the animation for Coraline.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah.
got there.
Yeah.
And they do like Kubo and the Two Strings, and
Mm-hmm.
they're a solid animation studio. I'd love to see them take on the Star Wars story.
That'd be interesting. I wonder if Star Wars is thinking about doing more animation stuff like this. Like, are they showcasing studios and trying to see which one they would like to make a movie?
No, that's way too much. It's
Yeah.
too bold.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so let me pose a question.
Okay.
The third episode, In the Stars, what I like to call Apocalypse Clay.
Yes.
It's by Punk Robot Studio. Wonderfully done. But I didn't know how to label this. Is this clay animated or claymation?
I think it's
that-
clay animated because it's supposed to be claymation, but I highly doubt they spent the hundreds of hours.
Oh, I
doing-
know, right?
Actually putting together the
Because
I
they didn't
mean-
have a lot of time. I mean, it takes a long time to do the claymation. I mean, maybe they did. I guess I could look it up really quick.
'Cause I feel like episode 4, I Am Your Mother by the Aardman Studio.
Aardman,
That
yeah.
is true claymation.
It is stop motion. I Am Your Mother. Well, I Am Your Mother was stop motion, I guess.
yeah.
Where's the cheese, Gromit?
Just
yeah.
crackers about cheese.
But like that, the final episode, the one I was just talking about, I feel like that was definitely like a clay animation instead of the actual stop motion stuff.
Yeah, designed to just look like.
Right. Which was fun. I like that stuff, man. It kind of takes me back to being a kid watching
Let's see.
the Rudolph the
Punk
Red-Nosed
Robot.
Reindeer and
Rankin
those-
Bass stuff.
Yeah.
Those old school movies.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow.
I think they got canceled because I don't
Oh,
see them
yeah.
on public TV anymore.
What? No, they're there. They're on CBS still, like every once in a while.
I think they're racist.
Are they? God.
I think they are. I don't know, but they probably haven't aged well.
Well, no, of course not. And you're right. I haven't seen them in a long time, so I guess it's probably true. I don't know, but that sucks.
Do you guys have an episode within Visions that you just want to bash on? 'Cause I
Honestly?
do-
Not so much with this season.
I
I-
don't think so. Justin, why don't you tell us which episode you want to bash on while I try and find one, I guess.
it's just I want to bash on the plot itself. It's very unoriginal. The animation to episode 8, The Pit by LucasArts and the co-developer, I can't remember who, I'm sorry. But the animation was very Boondock ish
Oh,
from
okay.
Adult
Okay.
Swim. But
Yeah.
the entire the plot was Bane escaping Batman in his
Dude,
prison.
that's really funny that you say that.
Literally, that was the plot,
It was
and I was
the
unimpressed.
Stajiro and Lucasfilm
Stagio.
made that one. Thank you.
Stagio.
I'm so bad. at
Yeah, and I had big hopes for them.
that. In my notes, I literally say Dark Knight Rises. Anyone? Because he definitely crawls out. But the brutality of that episode when the stormtroopers just toss that kid over the edge is kind of what made me like that episode a little more. Like, if they just let that kid live and like slowly lowered him down in a pulley or something and was like, "Hey, bad," and like slapped his wrists, then I might have a little bit more to complain about. But it really showcased the Empire and its brutality, and then also how cowardly they are, because they just basically killed a kid, threw this kid in a pit and killed him, and then pissed their pants when the city came to rescue everyone and just ran away, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
So there was a lot of cool depictions of the Empire. Not cool, I would say, but, but you know what I mean? Like, extra depictions of the Empire that we haven't necessarily seen that much.
Mm-hmm.
But I
So
would say that it was probably one of my least favorite episodes. It was not the strongest episode.
I just doing some digging on that studio. They are a majority like black owned anime studio based out of Tokyo.
Okay.
So
No shit.
their whole thing is that they are a collaboration between Eastern and Western kind of animation styles.
Did
So
they work on
Boondocks.
Boondocks?
I mean, not specifically Boondocks, but
Okay. But I mean, Justin's right. It's a very Boondocksy style, like that kind.
yeah,
of...
no, there's definitely some inspiration behind like
Yeah.
the work of like Aaron McGruder and some of the other people behind Boondocks.
Right.
That definitely kind of shows through, and that we're getting black perspectives presented very strongly and very well. So
Yeah, for sure. There was some points or some plot points in that one that you're like, oof. This is very reminiscent of other things, and I don't.
yeah,
Very
imagine that.
uncomfortable, and yeah,
It hits home.
We're
does.
seeing basically the Black Lives Matter movement coming to anime.
right. And Star Wars,
And Star Wars specifically, yeah.
Wonderful.
Which I think the graffiti piece at the end of that is kind of showcases just like, we've got somebody spending their last few minutes in the pit finishing off this memorial graffiti piece for this kid.
Right.
That's you see way too many of those
Right.
memorial pieces for kids who died way too soon.
Right. And one of those kind of took action when it was too late stories.
Yeah.
Like the kid got hunted down by the Empire while the city was like, what do we do?
And after he was dead, then they,
then they showed
Became a martyr.
yeah.
He did.
But like I never really thought about the meaning behind that. Thank you for opening my eyes, Phil. I didn't really get that in depth. I liked it.
Yeah.
I hated the plot.
I mean, it was a good episode to showcase, the brutality of the Empire and how some sort of
totalitarian.
Thank you. Empire can be. So it was good. I would say it was probably one of my least favorite, just because I'm the mythical kind of, oh, I love Jedi and blah blah blah, and there wasn't.
And
a lot
it
of
was
that
it was
going
a
on.
very mundane story.
Yeah, it was more the people versus the machine
Mhm.
kind of story, which I mean that's all Andor was,
Yes.
the people versus the machine. So
yeah.
One
it
way out.
works in Star Wars if you can do it the right way, and I do think the Pit did a really good job. Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. I told you, Justin, I was gonna make some like bumpers and stuff, but then I spent so much time on the intro video that I didn't
You're
get to
fine.
the bumpers. So that intro video is gonna be continued for a while. So I wanted to make it good to where I could just recycle, rinse, reuse.
Yeah, that's fair. Something funny for these episodes. I came up with the AKA nicknames for them.
Go on.
Episode 1, the Sith, AKA Paint Sith Battle.
Okay.
Episode 2, Screecher's Reach, AKA Sith Witch Ghost.
Okay.
Episode
We're gonna
3,
go through all episodes. Okay. All right.
in the Stars, Apocalypse Now.
All right,
4, I Am Your Mother, aka Embarrassing Mom Race. 5, Journey to the Dark Head, aka Vision Stone's Head Chop. That one didn't really make too much sense to me.
Sorry, you said Vision Stone's head chop?
Vision
Yeah.
Stone's head chop.
Okay.
I got it.
It sort of does with the plot. 6, Spy Dancer, Dance Assassin. I'm getting the music stage. Bandits of Golok, Force Slings Escape. And 8, 9, I didn't get the name.
Oh, come
Thank
on, man.
Thank you. Good night, people. Thank you. And good night.
That's all, folks.
That's all, folks.
We'll get you next time.
I'm going to actually put that music into the edited episode. Because that deserves like some classical music behind it.
Yeah, it was a bit rambly.
No, I
We
mean,
did do the nose.
there were, a lot of these episodes were really, really good. I love the standalone stories that they do with Visions. It's a nice buffer, it's a good placeholder to keep me to wet my palate as I wait for Ahsoka.
Yeah. I
Young
gotcha.
Jedi Adventures is not bad either for a kids show. I mean,
My
I watched
daughter
a couple
likes it.
episodes, see, and it's not that bad.
It's better than the Resistance.
Ouch.
Oh my god, dude!
It
I saw
is.
a couple people like
It is.
going hard about how much they loved Resistance the other day on Twitter, and I was like, oh, it took every bone in my body to not reply. Just
Was
awful
it a-
things?
It was a touchy-feely group where you can't hate.
Kinda, yeah. I got booted from one of those groups on Facebook.
I did
because,
too.
I don't know. Someone was talking about something, and it was just like it was probably Last Jedi or something like that. Which I like the Last Jedi. Okay, listen, I like. Our next episode is gonna be so much fun because it's gonna be all about sequel trilogies, and sequels in general in sci-fi. But like, I said some things on that non-toxic Star Wars group that might have been a little toxic.
No.
You're just so
Hey,
passionate. That's all. You're just too passionate.
I am.
There's the
Whatever.
Fry. I'm shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked. Gif.
Yeah. But hey, you win some, you lose some. And
You get
Vision
booted
season
from some.
2, yeah, Vision season 2 won a lot. I feel like I feel like season 2 didn't have a bad episode in it like season 1 did. Season 1 had that again.
Ugh.
Say it over and over. That Mos Eisley concert, whatever, was awful.
Jabba, we really want our friend back. We're here to rock.
And I would say season 2 is way better because there's not one episode that I would like emphatically skip. So, what do I have a? Maybe let's just let's do this segment. It's the Tuscan Raider. It's the part of the show where we rate each thing that we're talking about. Oh, this works so much better in episodic shows. But yeah, let's rate this season. We've already talked about our favorite episodes, our favorite animation style, which ones we would want to go to to have its own story. I wouldn't say live action because
An expansion.
an expansion, yeah.
Yeah.
A book.
But what would you rate this season of Visions, Justin?
It's really hard to establish a baseline on what to rate it to, but as comparatively to the first, I'd give it like an 8. The first one I'd give 7. It was different. But this one, like, it touched on a lot of cool things. It had a lot to touch on race and different backgrounds and how they portray it through their studios, which was really, really interesting to watch and see the animation. But I like where they're going, and I hope to see more. So it's a solid 8. I like it.
All right. Phil, what would you rate this season?
I'd call it probably a 9, honestly. Like I said, it ends. The overall tone of it is more optimistic, which something that has gotten lost in some of the expanded universe stuff is just how much of Star Wars is about hope.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hope in this season. Like
Yeah.
it's a common thread through the entire season for sure. I actually rated each episode out of 10 as I watched them, and that would be if I were to do all the math, which I did. It's not actually my highest rated anything of Star Wars. I liked a lot of Visions. I thought it was a lot of fun. But it's not something that I'm going to revisit as much as, say, Rebels or
Okay.
Mandalorian or even the trilogies. It's something I'll probably show the stepkids. I'll have them watch a lot of them just to kind of introduce them and like try to get them on my side a little bit. I got them rooting for the Nuggets, but I got to get them on Star Wars now. So, I rated this about a 7 out of 10. It's actually a little lower than that. After all my math, it's a 67 out of 100. So it's a little lower for me, but again, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that it's not something that I'm going to revisit as much. I've watched Mandalorian season 2 4 different times. I've watched Rebels 4 different times the entire season, and happily watched it. Didn't skip an episode, watched it, and those are things that I would rate a 10. I would rate about a 9. The sequel trilogy about an 8. The prequel trilogy about an 8. The original trilogy a 9 or 10. I mean, and so with this, it's definitely a little lower on my scale, but still really, really good for what it is. And I highly recommend anyone that likes anime or different styles of cartoons or animation, definitely check Visions out because it's a lot of fun. And season 2 was a lot more about pulling on your heartstrings and like kind of getting you to feel something than it was just using Star Wars,
I can see that.
So
That's a good way to put it. Very good way to put it. Either way, Disney, keep continuing the Star Wars ethos into anime and throw out these ideas. I like it. Everyone's every episode is different and new, but still has the undertone of Star Wars. Whether it's Force users or refugees, I just keep on. Give me it.
Well, and we are getting a lot of different cultural perspectives by getting the voices, these presentations from so many different studios. We're seeing so much more of the world that we live in taking on the Star Wars universe, and I think that's spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree. Was
plus-
there anything else that you guys wanted to touch on when it comes to Visions? Oh, hey, Jesse, how's it going? Jesse from the Crusher Convo
Oh,
is
shit,
popped into
hey.
the chat. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. But was there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about when it comes to Visions?
I loved there were so many spectacular voice actors
Yes.
showing up throughout this one.
Yeah.
I mean, the pit starred David Diggs.
I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Why
Crux
why
was
do I know that name?
did you watch Hamilton?
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Yes. I'm looking at him now.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, the voice, like I said, the voice cast alone for any of these episodes is absolutely spectacular.
Oh, and he was in the DC League of Super Pets. He was Cyborg. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good movie, man. It's
That's
a really good
wonderful
movie.
I'm not knocking it. I love that movie. It was so good. Jesse says Star Wars represents so much different sides that it is for all. She said she never saw Visions. Tad behind on Star Wars stuff. That's okay. Trekkie's gonna trek.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, Daniel Day Kim was in there. We got
big one.
God, who else? I'm just trying to remember who else I saw. Yeah, because Daniel Day Kim was in Journey to the Dark Head, which tracks because that was a Korean animation studio working on that one.
There are a lot of they're not huge names, but they're fairly big names in the animation.
The voice acting community, they do big things.
Dennis Lawson.
Dennis Lawson. Well, because he was back as he was Wedge.
He was Wedge.
He was himself again. It was great. When I saw his name pop up in the credits for that episode, I was just like,
"Wow, I can't believe it was actually him."
In the Wallace and Gromit one?
Yeah. Dennis Lawson showed back up to voice.
I always thought that he didn't like doing Star Wars things.
Yes, but at the same time, he's getting the
that's
opportunity to work with the studio behind Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, how can you say no?
Everybody likes money. I'm just saying.
His grandbaby's got college.
Yeah, Star Wars is not.
No, but Cynthia Erivo, who's in Au's song. Angelica Houston in Screecher's Reach.
Was she the witch?
No.
I'm just seeing the names associated with each episode.
Angelica Houston was in the original Witches movie, though.
Yes,
that movie scared the shit out of me.
That's kind of funny. Makes sense.
But yeah, no, phenomenal voice cast. The scores in these were really good.
Agreed.
Oh, the flute in episode 2, right at the end.
The flute bit in episode 8.
Yes.
The Bandits of Gulag. The flute.
She's jamming on.
Just incorporating that into the score. It was fantastic.
It's really good for sure. Yeah, Justin, did you have anything else that you wanted to say about Visions?
No, I think I covered it all. The first episode of both season 1 and 2 are the best.
They got to start strong. They got to get people in.
That they do.
That makes sense, yeah.
The Ronin is a spectacular kind of intro to the concept of everything they wanted to do with Star Wars Visions. So
Right.
it stands to reason that they would,
Well, and they made things spin-offs off of the Ronin, so it was like, they had plans for that to begin with, I feel like.
Yeah.
it's hard to say with that one.
The book came out really, really soon.
It's true.
It's a really solid book,
shortly
too.
After that, but
It's a really solid book, too.
nice.
I recommend the audio version if you have not had a chance to check that out, because the audiobook version of it has a supplemental score and actual like voice cast and everything, not just like a single narrator kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, that's way cool. All right. Well, we're about halfway through this episode.
That
But
would be
I'm-
perfect.
Yeah, kind of. So I am going to. We're kind of going to do something new this week, and I feel like this is something that we might continue to do if it works out okay. So let's do it. That's right. It's a brand new segment and or feature or something in the Quest Me world. And we're calling it Quest Me Plays. I'm calling it Quest Me Plays. So, like we were saying earlier, we have done nothing but play Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda, for like 2 weeks straight now. So I figured, I'll play some Zelda while we talk about why we love this freaking game so much. It's ridiculous, man.
It has
sucked my
been-
soul away.
It has been so good.
I mean, look. People, this isn't going to be on the actual podcast, okay? This is going to be a strictly video sort of thing. But I just got to
This
say,
is just for you listening live tonight.
yeah,
patrons.
As you're watching, like, look at how beautiful this game is. Like, this is one of my favorite things to do, is just float around the sky and see the ground beneath me, because it's just magnificent. It is.
Sometimes you gotta
huge.
drop a little bit to actually see the details, though.
Well, yeah, of course. But I've had so much fun.
Go to the left. Go to the
flying
left.
around like this.
Go
What
fight
do
the
you mean go to
Talus.
left? I don't wanna
Fight
go
the Talus.
Oh,
It's not
dude,
a
these
Talus,
things-
it's a flex construct.
Yeah,
I hate
okay.
these guys.
They're
guys wreck
assholes.
my
I
soul.
hate them
I don't
so
like
much.
it. I already beat this one, I think. Did I? I think I did, because there should be like a
Green
shrine
crystal on his
around
head.
here. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, I already beat this one. Screw
Yeah.
that guy. But you guys, how have you? First of all, how long have you played this game, Phil? What's your count right now?
Let me double check, because it has changed slightly since we've been sitting here talking. 85 plus hours right now.
85 plus.
Ooh.
Justin-
Now, by comparison, I started Breath of the Wild. The first time I played through Breath of the Wild, I played on the Wii U. And then I
okay.
picked it up for the Switch when they announced Tears of the Kingdom. I've put in 155 hours on Breath of the Wild just on my Switch.
Was that?
Is that
When was-
completing? Like, are you completionist, 100%er?
I'm not, but I've been playing around. I got the DLC and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
So-
the last 3 weeks before Breath of the Wild came out, I went diving pretty seriously back into Breath of the Wild just
Oh,
to
you
get
meant-
ready.
Tears of the Kingdom
No, like before Tears came out.
before it came out. Yeah. I did
Yeah.
the same thing.
I did
I heard that there was a lot of people that went back and like beat Breath of the Wild, and that they regretted
I mean,
it.
I
'Cause
went
they were
and
like, oh, I just played
refought.
100 hours of Breath of the Wild, and now I'm playing 200 hours of Tears of the Kingdom.
And
I
it's
went
the same
and
game.
refought Calamity Ganon
Did you?
Yeah.
Man,
No,
I
like
go to the
I
wrong
went
place.
back, like I'd finished all of the like main quest stuff.
My bad.
But yeah, I'm sitting at a little over 85 hours
Okay.
in Tears of the Kingdom so far.
And where are you at, Justin?
Just to go back to Breath of Wild, I'm probably at 120 odd hours there,
For
and
Breath of the
then
Wild? Okay.
yeah, and then Tears of the Kingdom, like 64, I think the last time I checked.
Okay. All right.
So
And I
I'm
just
getting up
checked-
there.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, and I just checked mine like before we started streaming here, and I'm at about 70. So I guess I could. Let's see.
I'm not like actually like
If I'm gonna really look, so 70 hours on Tears of the Kingdom, and I play a lot of Nintendo. 260 hours on Breath of the Wild.
Ooh.
yeah. See, and like I said, my first playthrough of Breath of the Wild I don't have on here because I did it on the Wii U.
Okay.
So
How was the Wii U Breath of the Wild as compared to the Switch? Because
Honestly?
I feel like it wouldn't have been as good.
I think it held up just fine. Like you actually got to use the gamepad as your Sheikah slate when you were doing shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
a
mean
fun feature.
the whole thing was, implemented really, really well.
Huh.
As far as like
I guess
integrating.
I didn't even think about that aspect.
Have
Yeah.
you not done this city yet, or the village?
Merlin. I have not. I have not actually.
I just
spent-
did it today. It's pretty cool.
Like,
Oh, so,
I'm
have you not
just-
done it yet? I just did it today. Oh, I'm just doing it right now, Justin. Okay.
No, I'm behind you guys. I get ideas of what to do via you.
No, like I'm actually like kicking around the Necluda region for like the first time since
Oh.
so my first thing, because my first goal was to hit all of the towers and map out the whole place.
Always.
That was mine in Breath of the Wild too. So I
Yeah.
did the same thing in Tears. I just
So,
had to get
so
everything.
now I've actually like gotten everywhere, but I'm actually like going through and picking up the shrines and stuff now. I'm sitting at
Okay.
like 64 shrines completed right
Okay.
now, something like.
Okay.
Not
And
bad.
there's 150. I just saw a spoiler today. There's 150 shrines,
Okay.
and
I was expecting around
100
120, so that's
and then 100. What are these called? Light blooms.
the
or
like.
whatever? Light
Okay,
roots?
yeah, no. So,
Oh, wow, yeah, here's
light,
some mad.
light spoiler. The light roots
No.
correspond with the the light roots in general correspond with the shrines.
Oh,
they do?
really?
Yeah, check your map.
That's good to know. I did not know that. And I haven't looked at anything. I haven't looked up anything as far as like where stuff is. Because I like to find it on my own. And,
Yeah.
And the game gives you the tools to find everything without looking it up online.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's just a matter of being patient and actually wanting to do it, you know?
Pay attention to dialogue for extra side quests.
Right. I need to attach some stuff to these weapons, I feel like.
It looks like I really need to do the other temples.
Oh,
Oh,
man, the
All
The,
I've done is wind.
This guy is awesome.
oh man, having Yunobo along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's pretty
So
good.
I love this, by the way. The whole little kind of buddy system they've implemented.
Yeah, sometimes it's really cool, and then other times it's kind of like, get out of my freaking way, dude.
Have you guys ever interacted with it? Like, one of the guys, Yunobo comes in front of you when you really want the wind guy.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, no, like
that has happened a couple
so-
times for sure.
that's the important thing is that you can, go into your menu and you can dismiss them.
What?
You can deactivate which ones you've got. Go to your key items.
and
you can select which vows you wanna have active.
Interesting.
So like if you're gonna be just
Ah.
gliding around and not like dealing with anything, you can make sure that it's just gonna be Tulin who's hanging out with you.
Cool.
Oh,
That's good to know.
cool.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I'm learning stuff as I'm playing.
Yeah, no, they basically they straight up tell you that when you're
there like you're like, did you read?
I mean, the reading thing's kind of my job. So
Yeah, I get it. What's been your favorite upgrade from Breath of the Wild?
so
'Cause
the-
it's a little different. compared to
so
Breath of the Wild.
my favorite thing.
Go down in there. Go down in there.
I will. Don't worry.
My favorite thing. It's kind of silly, but in Breath of the Wild, all of the gems gave you these little descriptions,
Mhm.
right? Like talking about, this gem holds the power of whatever element.
Right.
Well, then in Tears of the Kingdom, they actually implemented that. So
Damn
with
it.
Oh, I saw that happening.
Oh my god.
You can destroy it.
That's funny shit.
Anyway,
No, so
sorry.
the opal was described
yeah.
as having the power of water, and so then I actually fused an opal to a weapon, and I got a water rod. And I was like,
And it was really good for there was some
it made the water
part in this
temple
game, yeah.
the water temple challenge
easier.
became trivialized.
Yeah.
Uh,
Super nice. And it makes
loved
it to
it.
where you actually want to farm that stuff. You actually want to
Yeah.
go mine that stuff,
Yeah,
Mhm.
or play with exploits and duplicate 50 or 60 extra diamonds.
Right. Well, I didn't do any of that stuff. Although I still haven't.
You
installed the
need to,
updates.
man. You really
No,
should.
I played around with it just to see how well the item duplication glitch worked, and
And does it
I'm
work pretty well?
Yes.
it worked tremendously well. It's not me sitting at 20,000 rupees right now by selling duplicated
All
diamonds.
the diamonds.
No, but in all seriousness, though, it was a fun glitch, and I am kind of sad they patched it out. Womp womp.
Game hates me.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, that was easily
They
game
had to.
breaking.
They had to
Yes.
patch that. You were
They did.
ruining the Hyrule economy is what was happening.
No, I am contributing to the Hyrule economy. Thank you very much.
You sent it into recession.
I think
What's your favorite thing, Josh?
I would have to say that it's the fusing ability and just like Phil was saying with the opals and stuff. Now there's so many different items that you can fuse together with your weapons.
Yeah.
That it kind of makes it worth it to
Put the
actually
diamond on.
find different things. I don't want to do the diamond.
Don't do it.
It's okay. I'll teach you
Yeah.
how to dupe it.
teach him how to take it. No,
I don't want to do that either.
no, I love the Gibdo bone is one of my favorite things to just throw onto a
Gibdo.
bow.
What is it? Oh, on a bow? Okay.
No,
What's
throw
it
the
do?
I haven't messed
it is
around with that as
just
much.
devastating physical attack. Like the Gibdo bone adds more attack power to your bow shot than bombs even.
Ooh. That's
Oh, wow.
nice.
Yeah.
What?
You don't
One hit.
Every time, man.
have you
That's one thing about this
considered
game, dude. It
have you
is
considered
considerably
healing?
harder.
Have you considered
Yeah,
healing
I
from your
did.
3 heart
Okay.
status before you drop
will
down
this
into the
time,
well
okay?
again?
That might be a
Listen,
good thing.
This game is so much harder than Breath of the Wild was. Have you noticed
It
that?
is.
Oh,
it is.
yeah.
The difficulty level, the number of times I died after leaving that first Sky Island was
Astronomical, dude. I don't stop dying in this game.
That's why I don't go to the underworld. I die
man,
constantly.
but the depths are so much fun.
Yeah,
I've
I mean,
barely explored it.
the underworld's a good.
I love it so much, and just the seamless transition from Sky to main world Hyrule to the depths is so good.
Have you done
you
a
done-
ceiling to the basement drop yet and
Oh,
gone
yeah.
down a chasm?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
It
that
is
shit's cool.
awesome.
I've been
There's
trying to break the ceiling Like I made a floating raft that just went up and went up.
Oh
It had a
man.
bunch of batteries on it, and I had supercharged extra, and it just kept going.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of what happens, I guess. What are you guys' thoughts on the building in this? The construction of stuff. Have you struggled with it? Or have you
Fuck yeah,
loved
it's
it?
hard. It's annoying.
It's hard, but it's so worth it.
Good to see you,
like,
Jesse.
now-
Thanks for being in.
Yep. And having now having gotten auto build, and being able to actually like save.
Auto build? What?
Okay, yeah.
No, I'm
so-
kidding. I knew about it. I don't have it though.
Okay. I can tell you later where you,
You
need
can
to go.
you can get it accidentally.
Yeah.
I got it accidentally.
Yeah, no, we'll talk about it after we're done.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to spoil that fun for anybody, because that is it gets into some pretty major Breath of the Wild spoiler territory.
Yeah, I would just say if you want to get the auto build, just go check out the Shrine of Resurrection.
Okay.
Just go over there.
Yeah.
And
Just
then,
go there.
And then
Yeah,
and then you can
Head
pretty
back
much
head
figure
back
it
to
out.
the
Great
Great Plateau. Go check out your starting spot from the first game.
You can go to the Shrine of Resurrection, and then there is an actual chasm to the depths on the Great Plateau. I would recommend checking those places.
Yeah.
Just to,
But the auto build function is fun because it just like saves your designs. You can like favorite
Yep.
your builds.
Oh.
And then I love this. If you want to build something but you don't have all of the pieces, auto build will will actually like supply the parts for you at like 3 zonite.
you pay for it.
Yeah, no,
but-
it's like 3
Oh.
zonites per piece though.
Mhm.
It'd be
So,
cool
like-
if they just used your parts.
Well, yeah, no, like, but if
It was
you
like
if you break them out, like if you have them out of the capsules, it will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to take them out of the capsule. If you leave them in the capsule, then it won't register them as being there.
Yeah. It
that
was a really
said,
good way.
I love the
to-
capsule machines as like, oh, Hyrule Gashapon.
Well, and it's a good way to like get rid of your excess parts. It was like Breath of the Wild. They gave you the motorcycle in the DLC, so you could get rid of the hundreds and even thousands of like what were
Stacks
those?
of wood or whatever that you had.
No, it was the like pieces, the screws and the bolts
Oh, yeah.
from the like whatever those guys were. The
All of the
what are those guys
Oh.
called? The
The
robot
Guardians.
guys
Ain't-
that-
all the Guardian
thank
stuff.
Thank you. Yes. Like I got way too close to me.
yeah. Oh man,
You
I
gotta
killed
use that.
myself with bomb flowers so many times.
Yep. Yep.
I've
I-
killed
you know,
myself. Killed
I was
myself with
just
bomb
walking
flowers so many times.
the other day. I was just, walking around, and it was raining, and I went to go pick some apples from the tree. And the second I jumped to get the apples, lightning struck the tree, and I died.
Sounds about right.
I was like, what the hell is that?
Yes.
And this game is so open world sandbox RPG, and that just proves it. You can just be walking at random and get wrecked by nature.
yes.
And I think,
Yeah.
I think I really
the
like
physics
that.
engine remains so impressive.
Yeah.
Like every detail of the physics engine. From the don't light yourself on fire. Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, get off the fire.
I did not mean to do that. I went to go check my notes. You remember, Justin, earlier when you were like, I don't know how you can podcast and play a game at the same time.
There'd be no
Well,
way I could.
Sometimes I start myself on fire. So, how far have you guys gotten in the story? Like, so far, have you enjoyed the story of this game?
I've enjoyed the memories of the geoglyphs.
Yeah, have you finished all the geoglyphs?
I finished
did
the
finish the
geoglyphs. I have the
Okay.
little prize afterwards.
Yep.
But all the
mean the
memories,
Master
I would
Sword?
like to.
Yes.
Yes. But all
He's
the
trying
memories.
not to spoil shit, Josh.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
right.
This game's been out for 2 weeks.
All right, fine. I got the Master Sword, but I've been. I wish there was a version where you can watch every memory in a row.
So, funny story about that. I actually unlocked all the geoglyphs first and skipped them until they were all unlocked, and then went through and watched them in order. Because Breath of the Wild did the same thing with its memories.
Yes.
Where when you were walking around Hyrule and you found a random memory, it would just be a random point in time, and they were all mixed up. So this go around, I wanted to make sure that I knew the story, and so I actually skipped each one until they were all unlocked, and then watched them all. So
That's fun.
it took some self-control, but it worked.
And I've noticed, like, I've only completed the Wind Temple, and I have all the geoglyphs. I don't have all the memories unlocked.
Yeah, there are some
There are
memories
other
that are
ones.
not associated with the geoglyphs,
Yeah, okay.
but that are associated with other quest things.
Yep. Why is this guy running away?
To go get his buddies to beat your ass.
And he's about to beat your ass.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the worst when it comes to the combat on this game. Dude.
So I love.
You look like you're doing good.
I love that we've gotten to see. He's fighting with a fish on a stick.
I know. You're using the worst weapons possible.
No, I'm talking about the boblin, the bokoblin.
What are you talking about? This weapon is a
Yeah,
20.
no,
It's
the-
only
not bad.
23. I got my weapons to 48.
Best
What
one
are
I've
you
hit so
fusing
far.
with?
Best one I've hit so far was like a 73.
Oh, damn.
So
I used a
have you-
big bokoblin, boss bokoblin horn.
Okay.
Okay.
So have you guys encountered any of the refights?
Oh, you mean the bosses?
Yeah.
Dude, I was pissed. I was walking
Okay.
around the chasm, and all of a sudden
So
the water temple
in
boss
in the
shows
depths,
Dude.
you can encounter and refight the temple bosses.
up. That's awful. I died.
But you get monster parts from them when you beat them.
Ooh.
Whoa.
I can't wait to dupe
Okay.
those.
That changes
Okay.
things.
So, okay, have you guys fought the gloom hand things?
Yeah, those suck. I have not beat them yet.
I don't
Okay.
usually
Always
fight 'em, I
run.
just run away.
Yep.
Okay, so neither of you know what happens when you defeat them.
I have read things,
Do tell
which
us,
is,
though.
which is why I refuse to beat them now.
Okay, it's worth it.
Is it? Does it give you more story?
It gives you more loot.
Oh. Okay.
So
I just hear that there's like another boss after that.
yeah,
Yeah, fuck that.
There's another
my
no.
language.
So you take out the gloom hands. You summon everybody who has not played this part and doesn't want this spoiled. Go ahead and mute for about the next 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
You get to fight then a Phantom Ganon
Mm-hmm.
that's summoned from the gloom, and those things are incredibly difficult to fight.
Is
They're
it
amazing?
is it like the Phantom Ganon from Ocarina?
Not quite.
I feel like isn't it the one from Wind Waker more so?
It is. It's honestly almost more like fighting Girahim from Skyward Sword.
From Skyward. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Deep cut.
But there's different varieties that have different weapon styles, and you get their weapons after you defeat them.
Oh, okay.
So I
this is
had
what
a
happens every
point
time I come to
where
this. I just get
I had a
killed, I'm
point-
just gonna leave.
I had a point where I
Do it later. Do it later.
I fused one of those mini boss fight drop weapons with one of the temple boss fight monster pieces.
Oh, okay.
And that was the single best weapon as far as like damage output that I've crafted so far.
Okay.
I went to Hyrule Castle early, and I
Oh,
found
shit.
like a bunch of the weapons there: the Royal Guard, Claymore.
Yeah.
I took those. I got
Oh.
the Hyrule or the new armor that you got
Mhm.
from Zelda.
Mhm.
But I took those weapons and I fused it with the big boss Bokoblin horn, and that's how I got the 48.
Nice.
It
That's
is
fun.
dirty.
Interesting.
Um,
So, speaking of enemies, what would you guys say the hardest enemy you fought has been so far?
fucking likes.
Really, the likes?
At upon first encounter.
The like giant worm things?
Yeah.
No,
Really?
like upon.
I didn't know how
first-
to beat them at first.
Upon first encounter, I was like, "Oh
Huh.
shit! They brought likes back."
They brought them back.
I mean,
Um,
I've always hated those stupid things since.
yeah,
the
but they're
original Zelda.
much easier to kill in Ocarina of Time.
Yes, they are.
It's true. I mean, they're pretty easy to kill in this game too.
They're okay. But it like that was my first death.
Really.
My
Was it
my
the
first
like?
death was going up against a like on the Sky
Huh.
Island.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I
so-
think the hardest boss that I have fought are those stupid hands.
Yeah, I'd go hands. I'd definitely go hands.
yeah.
And I
Bomb
don't know
them.
if that's like.
Because I've seen the three-headed dragon, and I haven't
Big
fought
Leox?
it yet. Yeah, I haven't not fought that yet. I run.
Yeah.
I gladly
I
run.
I saw a really cool TikTok video the other day of a guy, like, apparently there's a three-headed dragon on a sky island somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and the guy, like, fought it and fell to the earth as he was fighting it.
And fought
And, like-
another one when he landed.
No, like, he basically shot the thing 3 times, shot each one of its heads, and then as the dragon fell to the ground, the dragon hits the ground, and then the guy playing basically lands on the dragon with his sword,
Ah!
and then gets his camera out and gets this pose with the dragon when the dragon stands up and starts blowing fire out of the top. Like, it was the most metal thing I've ever seen.
Wow, that'd be cool.
All right. I gotta ask Josh, just because I'm watching you using your bow for this.
Uh-huh.
Have you figured out the item throwing?
No, can you do that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
Oh,
go to throw, like press and hold your right bumper, like you're going to throw your weapon.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, no, wrong one. Oh, okay. Yep.
And then tap your up
Oh.
on the D-pad.
Huh. Interesting.
Chuck it.
Huh.
Yeah.
What do you
Save
know?
arrows.
Thanks. See, I knew when I played with you guys that I would learn
Things you learn.
and that's wonderful.
Yeah,
Because
no.
I definitely got frustrated using all those arrows.
So one thing that I absolutely love with this, have you guys run into one of the battle taluses?
Yeah. The one
Oh,
with
with
the
the-
entire city on their
They've got
back. Oh,
the Bokoblin
Lord.
fort on their backs. I love them so much.
That thing is ridiculous. I haven't beat one yet, but I've run into a couple of them. and
Once you
gotten
get on
killed
top of
by
it, it's pretty
bunch of
easy.
them.
Yeah, no, it's not particularly, it's not technically difficult, but you get the added challenge of just there being, bokoblins up there.
Right.
And I
Get
got
the
blown
treasure.
up by one of them one day.
I think that was a pretty cool addition to this game. Was just the enemies, like some of the enemies are the same, but they're
You
very
get some
different,
nice remixes.
upgraded.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get some nice remixes with the enemies in this too.
Right. So speaking of remixes, I gotta ask, have you guys noticed all of the references to like every single Zelda game?
Oh yeah.
There are even like sounds. When you go up into the sky and you're talking to one of them like sky dudes, like what are they called? The mechanical sky
The
people
Zonai
things?
constructs?
Zonai, yes, constructs. They make a noise that is directly from Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
And
That was also used with the construct things in Skyward Sword.
Yes, for sure. So my next question of this is, I'm just running around in circles right now. I wanted to go do something. But my next question for this is, do you guys think this is like a remake or a reboot for the Zelda universe storyline?
Oh,
whatever?
man.
Because to me it seems like they're throwing all the different story points of Zelda in like all the different games, are throwing it all into this one game. I mean, you can find all the different costumes like Mipha's hat or
Yeah,
whatever from Twilight Princess.
Midna's hat.
Midna's, thank you. I have the dark suit from
Yep.
Ocarina, the dark tunic. You know, like there's so many different references to so many different games that I'm wondering what you guys think about them just basically mashing every game into this and then starting over completely with this lore. Do you think that's possible? Do you think it would be good for them to do that, or are you more on the like I want, Zelda games to not make sense? You know what I mean?
I think we're at a great point where they're tying in a lot of lore from the earlier games.
Right. I mean,
I
even
think
the
it
original
is.
games. This is like the original game, basically.
Yeah.
They just drop you in and like, it's dangerous to go alone. Here's a sword. But I feel like I don't know, they're just mashing everything together and starting fresh.
hmm
So, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Keep going.
No, it's all good, man.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. Justin, did you hear any of that question at all about them mashing everything together from old games and moving forward with like new
Oh
lore?
no, totally in the dark about that.
Oh, okay. So basically what Phil and I were talking about is how they're referencing a shit ton of other Zelda games.
Oh, all the Easter eggs like that?
Kinda, yeah.
Like how they're trying to make sense of the weird convoluted timeline?
Yes, exactly.
Lots
What
of
are your-
lots of nice nods to Link to the Past.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Link to the Past was my first Zelda game. What was your guys' first Zelda game?
The original. I have the gold cartridge.
The NES? That was the first one you ever picked up and played?
Yep.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I've loved it since.
So I gotta admit, first one I ever actually played beginning to end was Ocarina of Time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Now I have gone back. I own the gold cartridge.
Nice.
I own, pretty much everything in the franchise right now, except for some of the handheld ones.
Interesting. Like, which ones don't you own?
I don't
Cap?
have I don't have Minish Cap, and I don't have
Four
Seasons
Swords?
or Ages, and I don't have Four Swords. I have yeah.
I have all those.
Yeah, no, I've played almost exclusively the console ones just because of what systems I had access to as the games were coming out. I did play Minish Cap and Four Swords Adventure because one of my high school friends and I would like trade games constantly. So
Minish Cap is one of my favorite handheld games.
Minish Cap is fun.
That's the one where the hat is really the bird.
Bird thing, yeah,
Yep.
you'd like shrink down.
Yeah, that one was really fun.
I don't even know if. No,
Is there a
beat that again.
Is there a Zelda? I was
It's,
gonna ask you. Is there a Zelda game you haven't finished? Because
Zelda-
mine's Skyward Sword.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Tell me why you didn't finish that one.
Because I had to go back to the Temple of Time and fight that stupid upward spiraling battle, and I didn't want to do it for the 4th time, and so I put it down.
Fair.
Super fair.
Skyward Sword I pre-ordered. So I have like the gold Wii remote with the Wii Motion Plus built into it and
Ooh.
everything.
That's gotta be cool.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword is my least favorite Zelda game ever.
Is it just because of fee?
It's just the whole thing, man. It just drives me nuts.
I
Fight
love
the same
Skyward
bosses
Sword.
over and over. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it.
It was
I know a lot
very
of people love
met-
that game, but
it was very Metroidvania. It made you go back and
There's a
through
lot of
different levels because you have new equipment.
backtracking.
Yep.
yes.
Mhm.
Back and forth, back and forth, back
And
and forth.
I like that
It was
with
like-
specific games, but not Zelda. I don't.
My favorites in the franchise so far are still probably Ocarina of Time and Twilight Princess.
Oh.
Okay.
But I absolutely have loved Breath of the Wild and just its willingness to and Tears of the Kingdom. Their willingness to do something so drastically different from the rest of the franchise prior to that point.
Yeah. I could totally agree with that.
But like Twilight Princess remains one of my most replayable.
You know, for me, my most replayable and something I actually just played recently was Link to the Past.
Nice.
And
Huh.
I can beat that game in a day. Like almost 100%ing it too, getting all the hearts and all the extra stuff. Like that was the first game that I ever played front to back.
Yeah.
And it was like years of playing that game. Do I have to climb
For
this
me,
thing more?
it's Ocarina of Time. I know that world forward and backward and sideways.
Oh.
And I do too. Like
I
Ocarina
know
was another one.
the path through the forest still.
Mhm.
Well, you just got to look at the screen on the forest. You can see the difference of the when you're going through the like holes in the trees. The certain holes, this isn't gonna work. Certain holes have like a white in it, and then the other doorways, the actual
Yeah, no, there's
doorways
some
don't-
visual cues there.
Yeah,
But
Never picked up on that.
yeah, and then the music too. If you can,
I
hear
mean, the music is the
playing.
Yeah.
big key. But
Damn.
no,
It's the same pattern overall.
I will like replay. I did a replay of Ocarina. I had the strategy. I still have the strategy guide. Actually,
that's
hang on, because
I had
Have
the
you
strategy guide for
replayed-
Majora's Mask?
I was gonna say, have you replayed
because-
Majora's
Oh, I'm
Mask?
dead.
Oh yeah, no, but okay.
I just beat Majora's Mask.
So this
Recently again because it's on the Switch.
this little folder here has my Red to Death Ocarina of Time strategy guide in
Oh,
it.
that's so cool. That's
Because
so
it
cool.
is literally just it's falling apart because I have read it so many times.
Oh, that's so cool.
I could have used that when I was a kid.
Classic.
It was
Um,
it was the first strategy guide I bought. I bought it. I didn't own an N64. I would play at friends' houses,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
I
had the
bought
64.
I bought the strategy guide so that when I went to my cousin's house, there were, my cousins, Andrew and Eddie, had Ocarina of Time, and we each had a save file on there because you had 3 save files, and each one of us had a file on that N64 cartridge. And I would, go to Denver to visit them, and I'd play, for like 3 or 4 hours out of the weekend that we got to hang out together. And then I'd go back home and I'd play again the next time I came through.
Good memories.
Yeah. No, but it took me forever to beat Ocarina of Time, the first actual playthrough of it.
I remember
also-
the Shadow Temple put the fear into me.
Man. Bongo, dude.
That
Sorry.
temple was nuts, dude. Because you said it's like a torture chamber throughout
Yeah.
the whole temple.
Yeah, and the mummies. Ooh, used to
Oh,
get
yeah.
me.
As
The
like a
re-dead.
10-year-old, you're like, oh, what's happening here?
I'm sorry, Josh. I cut you off.
No, you're good.
That's all the clothes you got.
Yeah, man, I haven't found a lot of stuff. I literally have just.
You
been
don't go in
running around this
caves.
game. I've
You
just been
gotta-
running around trying to find shrines and stuff, and I just got my shrine finder yesterday.
Okay, I'm glad that you have the miner's pants though, because those
Yeah.
are stupid useful.
I found those at random. Everything I find is random, dude. I mean, I bought the snow clothes and I bought the fire
What's
clothes.
the blue heart one?
It's the
Tunic of
tunic of the depths.
Oh.
Bloom resistance.
Bloom resistance.
I gotta
And
find me
I
that.
found that in some
Oh,
chests
it's
down
stupid
underneath.
useful, man.
I just wanted to get another view.
Talk
See, this is what I do,
to-
dude. This
check
is
out
all that I
the-
do for hours. Is I go up
Justin,
to the sky,
Go to Lookout
fly
Landing,
around.
Yeah.
Justin. Go to Lookout Landing,
Okay.
where like Robbie and Joshua are hanging out talking,
Yeah.
and check out the little statue thing next to like in between them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh! You're talking the big pile of poop.
The big pile of poop.
The
Pope.
Poe.
Yeah, it's Have you collected any Poes yet, Justin?
I have like 200, but I've turned them in for the dark tunic.
Okay, yeah, no. So the tunic
Same
of the
thing.
depths is from the same source.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Little
Okay,
creepy
no,
guy.
Never mind. Yeah, never mind then.
Yeah, and I would assume that you probably buy the other pieces of that clothing from him in the depths, or right from like his friends or whatever.
He has a brother.
And he's got friends in low places.
All right,
Yeah.
Josh. Jump in the air and pull out your shield and then press pause.
No. I don't want to. I haven't done anything like that. I don't want to do any duplication. I'm not going to do it live on YouTube. I don't want to get banned or anything. I'm not going to do it.
Oh.
They've patched it. You just haven't gotten the patch yet. That's all.
You're right. I haven't.
I will patch eventually.
I
This is what I wanted to do.
unintentionally did, but
No, you were
it's
one of
okay.
those.
I was having fun with it, but
It's,
I'm not. I'm
it
not
is
heart.
fun.
I'm not heartbroken that it's fixed. But
Yeah. So I gotta ask, do you guys have any complaints about this game?
honestly,
I get
um,
lost. I get
the,
lost and there's too much to do. But then I have to focus and be like, all right, I'm just going to look for shrines. Only shrines.
the lightning temple was a little dark and hard to do on handheld. It was easier to
Okay.
do, docked on the TV.
I have noticed that the handheld is a little rough with this, especially if
Right.
you're trying to play it anywhere else but bed.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that the OLED model probably handles some of that better.
Right.
But I'm not here to talk about like hardware limitations or anything. I'm just
no, and I don't.
Hey,
I have
so,
the original Switch from like the first release. It's like the first generation,
yep.
Mhm.
OG.
Seems
Yep.
to be doing
So,
just fine
Josh,
for me.
what was that thing you bought with the 100 posts?
The Brethren. Finding
Yeah.
out
Oh yeah,
where-
you find out where another one of the bigger bargainer statues is.
Oh.
There are big ones down in the depths.
So that's what I'm gonna go find right now.
Oh.
I actually haven't gotten to one, so I've been buying them just to get one.
I want to see this, and then I gotta dip out for.
Yeah, I was
work.
gonna say this will be the last thing that I do, and
Yeah,
then, I
go
think we're
go
gonna
find
call it a
that
night.
bargainer statue.
Do you guys think this game is game of the year?
Yes.
So far, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot
Um,
of time left in the year.
We're not even halfway through.
That is very
So-
fair. I mean, I've been playing Jedi compared to this, and it's
And
fair.
What's
It's
Jedi
Zelda.
compared to this?
But I mean, we're
different
also
apples and oranges, man.
expecting Hades 2 out later this year.
It's an
And
indie game, though. It's not a
Yeah.
AAA. They
yes.
they don't get as much love, unfortunately.
No, but I mean, I will say that Hades was absolutely my game of the year when it
Oh.
came out. I mean,
It was a dope game.
I
yeah.
don't think I ever played Hades.
What? Josh.
Whoa, what? This thing is huge. That's one big pile of shit.
Oh yeah. No, hey, there you go, Justin.
Wow.
Check it out. That's the guy's face.
Holy cow,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah. No,
That looks
you're.
That looks like
Whoa.
Zant from Twilight Princess.
It sort of does.
Interesting. Pitiful beans, offer pose, and the stuff and the things. All right, I got.
You're gonna have to give
yes.
him 1,000.
I hope so. I don't have that many, but
I only have like 570 or
Ooh,
something right now.
dark trousers.
Give me pants.
Oh, I got a magic rod.
Bless you.
Nah.
Magic
Ooh.
rod. Ooh, that sounds fun.
You find those in temples. Usually, the Raru's blessing shrines will give you the magic rods. So cool. Well, that's awesome. That's good to know because I like finding new clothing, and I almost have a full set.
You got to go to Hatano Village.
Nice. And help the mayor lady.
Yeah,
Look,
I love her
I'm not
hat.
gonna lie to you. Look at all my side adventures that I have collected and
Oh,
not even
yeah.
tried to do yet. Like I keep talking to people and and getting them like all these side quests down here. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna spend an entire week doing side quests and things of that nature. But look, I'm gonna call this a day as far as Zelda goes. This has been one of the funnest games that has come out in the last since Breath of the Wild, I would say. It's been one that has captivated me hardcore to the point of like my girlfriend had to talk to me for a second and be like, "Listen, you got to still hang out with me, okay?" It wasn't bad. I'm being a little more dramatic.
I
than
know,
it
I know,
actually
I know.
was. But like, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Breath of the Wild, I would say the same thing. But I would say Tears of the Kingdom is Breath of the Wild on crack. And I'm going to be playing it for probably the rest of the year. There's so much to do in this game. The world is huge. It's bigger than it ever was, even in Breath of the Wild.
So like I was anticipating the size of the sky world. That wasn't a surprise. After like the trailers and everything. But the depths. I had not expected that we would get, a matching scale underworld. And that
It's
Yeah,
really
that
the
was,
matching scale.
yeah.
It is.
I haven't explored half the fucking map. No, sorry, map.
If you,
Yeah, no,
if you zoom
the
out on
depths.
map, look at that.
The
So,
depths.
boom, boom. It's the exact same size
Oh
as
wow,
the original map.
Yeah.
it's just dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And inverted.
Oh, it's inverted, really?
Oh, have you not noticed? Okay. So
No, but
yeah.
that's funny.
Oh, okay. So anywhere you have a hill or a mountain in the overworld, you have a valley in the
wow.
depths.
Damn, dude. The creators of this game are so awesome.
It's phenomenal resource management. Like look at this is something Nintendo, I mean video game devs have been doing this for forever because it saves memory and shit. Look at the original Super Mario Brothers. The cloud textures and the bush textures are the same.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They're just palette swapped.
That's true. And they've been doing this for years.
It's
They're just
all
doing it in a
resource.
different way.
It's all resource reuse. You
love
see it in the Zelda franchise. Anytime you have a dark world,
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're reusing the same base resource of the map and just
they're-
doing some slight tweaks to it.
you just blew my mind a little
you
bit
see
with
this.
the whole
You see
like we were talking about the references to old games. The underground is definitely the only reference that a Link
It's-
to the Past would have in this is the Dark World.
Hmm.
Oh. My head has exploded enough for the evening, I feel like.
all right, all right.
Let's rate this game out of 10 because I feel like we just got to do that, right? Because that's what we do on this show. So Phil, what would you rate The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom out of 10 Zonais?
Absolutely 10. It is 10 large Zonites. This is absolutely spectacular. It's everything. It is everything that I wanted a Breath of the Wild sequel to be. It's everything I wanted a Breath of the Wild sequel to be and more.
Nice.
It is everything that we were promised, and so much more. The new mechanics are incredibly solid. The gameplay is just as top tier as it was, 5 years ago. I love it. Like I've been sitting here playing this whole time.
Oh, that's hilarious. Justin,
by
what
the
about
way,
you?
Josh,
Oh, look at you and your
I have
fashion.
so many
Yeah.
more clothes than you.
Fashionista.
I just need to. I
Put
don't know,
that
I guess I just
CC
need to go
hat on.
explore more stuff. I just keep running around and not. I don't know. Justin, what would you rate Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom out of 10 Zonais?
Need you ask? I mean, it's a 10. Come on. I can't elaborate it better than what Phil just said. It's everything and more. It's what they promised and what they delivered. I didn't know how they would follow up Breath of the Wild, especially with the sequel immediately after, relatively. And they took it and making it their own. The only thing I'm a little bit disappointed in, it's pretty much the same map.
I
A
mean, it is the
little
same
bit.
map.
Yeah, the falling sky.
Yeah, and
Well, there's
it's still familiar.
Hmm.
And I love that because it's like, okay, I need to head to this approximate area. Like it's nice to know that I can still go back to some of the same places for resources.
yep.
That
Like
that
that
is true.
mountain.
Like, yeah, Mount Satori is still one of my
Yeah.
favorite places to go and just like stock up on food supplies. Um, but there's so much of the landscape that has changed since the upheaval
Yeah, exactly.
that it still feels fresh enough. But I could
Right.
see your point about it not being like a totally different world. But I think that's part of what allows them to have done as much as they did. I mean, like
See-
the rewind mechanic alone
oh yeah.
Yeah.
would be such
Yeah.
a resource heavy thing to
Yeah.
try to use on like a new map.
Right. Oh my
It's-
God.
So
I
don't
guess
know.
I just wanted to see more Skyland and more of the regular Hyrule
Okay.
distorted. Either way, it's
Okay.
still 10. 10.
Yeah, and I'm obviously going to give it a 10 out of 10. Zelda fan since I was born, basically. And this game, even though it's the same map, it's different. I think they're gearing us up to go somewhere else for the next game. I would assume that Link will probably sail off to maybe Termina or something else. I hope. Oh my God, could you imagine if they did a remake of Majora's Mask?
Nah,
Oh,
man. Termina's got to be its own little weird little fucking pocket dimension.
yeah.
I don't
But
want to
no,
go back there.
I
No.
feel like
Again.
they did a good job with using the same thing, but making it so much different.
Yeah.
that
They hit
it's
some
so fun to
familiarity.
explore.
They hit some familiarity with Skyward Sword.
Hmm.
Um they're playing around a lot with the storyline, connecting to a lot of the history of the franchise, and I'm stoked. I am
Yeah,
absolutely continuing.
for sure.
Give me a grapple hook.
Oh, that's the thing. I was like, man, one of my coworkers and I were talking about that the other day, how
Give me
much
a
we
hook
would
shot.
love to have the hook shot come back.
Yeah, that'd be
Just
cool, but it would make
imagine
the
the
game
hook shot
unfair.
plus the paraglider. Just
It'd be unfair. Like, you wouldn't need stamina anymore. You just,
yeah. Game's broken.
yeah, pretty much. But sweet. This has been a wonderful episode, guys. I've had a lot of fun doing
Yeah.
this. Next time we come back, it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks from now, and it's going to be the sequel trilogy versus Picard.
bum, bum, bum.
So, I know that's very vague, but we're basically going to be comparing the Star Wars sequel trilogy to the Picard 3-season series that just wrapped up on Paramount Plus this last year. There's a lot of similarities between the sequels of Star Wars and Picard, not only between the two shows, but between the two fan bases as well. And I'm extremely excited to do that episode. So get caught up on Picard, rewatch the sequel trilogy again, and come back to us. Go like and subscribe to us on YouTube at youtube.com/@questme, and then we'll give you updates on when we're going to go live. But that's going to be it for us tonight. I'm going to call it a night. We'll do a little sign-off and then get the F out of here. So for Quest Me, I have been your host.
And I'm Justin.
I'm Phil.
And, of course, my name is Josh. We will talk at you in a couple weeks. May the Force be with you.